Hey. Welcome back to the Bond Factor. I'll tell you what, I couldn't be happier to be here right now. I believe we just had an incredible presidential debate. I'm so excited about it that I almost can't get my editing skills together here. It's fun to watch me sort of do well and plummet at the same time. Bond Factor, but welcome back. Oh my gosh, what a great and awesome debate. I have to say, I think Trump found his rhythm in that debate. I haven't even looked at any spin yet. I'm so distracted that I don't even know. But I have to say that was amazing to me. What I saw, I'm going to give my take right off the bat. Trump probably gave 5 good points or brought up 5 good things to Hillary's 1. Hillary sounded like the storyteller to me tonight, telling myths, telling fables. And I'm going to roll with that as my first impression. But, we want to see what everybody thinks. I don't want to just sound like, it's just me. But I would implore everyone to think about what you just saw. Think about what exactly just happened. And I'm sure, the spin, the reviews, the things are going to come out for days. But I was able to just sitting here debunk a couple of the things that I witnessed happen. But not only that, I can only imagine after a couple of days. I mean, Trump did a much better job, I thought, of throwing some issues at Hillary. And, you know how we feel here on the Bond Factor. We don't really necessarily want more of the Hillary Clinton Obama thing going on. So I want to hear an argument that's going to tell me why business as usual really makes sense. And so, again, I'm going to go through some paperwork. I'm going to throw some of this paperwork away. I'm going to go through the debate news of Trump Hillary. CNN wanted to know, is the debate going to be fair? Yeah, I felt like it was fair. I hope most of the pundits out there feel the same way. I felt like a lot of the questions that came out right in the beginning addressed the sort of drama with Trump, and then it got very much into policy, which I like. I think that's a good way to go. It was interesting. NBC warned before the debates that maybe you want to tuck your children in and put them to bed before the debate starts tonight. I didn't think it was brutal. Trump, even when he dealt with the issue of very tough issues of rape and different things, I thought it was done with class, so we can throw that out. He didn't show his ass on that one. And I want to go back to the Trump versus Hillary sort of narrative about some of the things you heard tonight. There's huge differences in the campaign and what they're trying to do. So I don't really want to throw this piece of paper out because, again, I want to get your head back now that we've heard about all that, because one thing that did not come up tonight was the wall and the immigration sort of – it came up, but – wall or no wall, and what are your beliefs about that? It's very important to really decide, because as you watch the two candidates talk, the male and female, I don't want to say guys, I hate when people do that, the two people that were there, they spoke about it. But I mean, that's a huge, you vote for Hillary, it's an open border, it's a dream. She had a vision of how she just viewed this path to legalization that includes citizenship, like she said. And if you listen to the debate tonight, she sort of spelled it out for you. She said, hey, I believe that we need to let more, people in, and she sort of subtly criminalized that reality. Obviously, with Trump, you're going to get the wall. You're going to get none of that. There's no, and I want to speak on that for a moment, because why in the world, I always like to think about our country as our home. As Americans, we have our property, we have our home where we live, and why wouldn't we protect that the same way we would our country? I mean, naturally, you would invite anyone into your home to, that you saw was struggling, like a refugee or maybe someone, you try to help. But think about it. Even the homeless people on the streets of this country, we drive by with our windows up, and nobody wants a Syrian refugee or an Iranian terrorist that snuck his way into the refugee program, or a Mexican cartel individual coming in and staying in your garage above the house, or even in your tree, or even down the street. So why Why is this sort of apologetic or non-apologetic, I should say, sort of attitude about, well, we've in America we've let everyone in. Okay, now comes that key word, legal or illegal. Did we let them in legally or did we let them in illegally? I think probably back in the 20s and all these different periods of time when people talk about, how immigrants have formed the country, absolutely. And the illegal ones are still forming the country into this global vision. And we don't want to be like Mexico. We don't want to be like about 75 or 80% of the world. Why would we want to sign in as globalists? Again, abortion, I think another huge issue. Keep your eye on the ball with the elections tonight. Didn't come up. Why would it? Why would Clinton want to try and defend almost pretty much live birth and the right to abort, whereas as Trump has come out and said, no, life is precious and there has to be some kind of limit. And again, people have forgotten about the scandal that we had with Planned Parenthood, but strong support for Planned Parenthood with Hillary. Trump wants to sort of wind that back and say, you guys can counsel and do all the good things you do, but no more abortions. You're not going to run and tell people how and what to do, not only with the abortion process, but then control what's done with those fetuses. I mean, it's funny how, I'm going to throw this paper out too. People don't even talk about that, which, I mean, do you remember how that was mind-boggling a couple of years back when we heard about the fetuses getting sold, and now it's mind-boggling this, and, our eyes are off the ball. I mean, I don't think people can deal with the input. How do you deal with so much every day to even be able to digest it? That's how I feel. I've got paperwork on the floor. I can't digest it, but I want to get to one more thing before we go, and I want to flip it back just to remind everybody, and this probably is going to work. In fact, I think I figured out why this screen isn't working, because I'm doing things, I'm recording, and I can't change it live, but normally you'd be able to see it here, but I'm going to go to a different screen, I hope. And my last point to make is these two. It's important to remember that you're also electing one or the other of these. And I don't know what everybody saw in the vice presidential debate the other night, but I think it's worth, deciding also which one of them that you like, because again, all of these things are more important than a lot of the drama, a lot of the stupid stuff that we see and hear about. Kind of, I'd say it's about 80% drama that goes on and about 20%, real life stuff, right? I mean, as much as to try and just, gosh, I hate these glasses. I'm going to tell you, they're hurting my head and they don't fit right. Talk about it all the time on the show, but I don't mean to take up airtime with that. I've thrown all my notes down as I get frustrated. But as a final note, Bond Factor, as you know, we are definitely pro-Trump, and I think it's probably the best thing that he said all night and always says is, what do you have to lose? I think that's legitimate. And so hopefully we can keep kind of our eye on the ball with that. I've always felt that way, that we all have a lot to lose. And it's okay, I was about to do a fade out, but I'm going to say one more thing. As Alex Jones likes to say, we're not going to do this break. But our country's selling out. We're selling out to the world. We're selling out. And I mentioned it before, but I like to always say it's a little bit like Disneyland. And, okay, we have one Disneyland in America and multiple other business parks, entertainment venues and roller coasters. But Disneyland's special, and everybody who goes there knows that. And it has to be protected on some level. If there was no gate around it and everybody could just walk in and, jump on a ride or not, I would give it about 2 weeks and the place would fall apart, maybe even faster than that. So I just kind of want to make that point that if you think it's somehow, oh gosh, see, again, my mind just gets overwhelmed, break a sweat. If you think the global thing makes sense, it doesn't make sense, because a lot of the world is not up to speed with where we are. So I encourage you to think that way. Hillary Clinton's idea of open borders with almost no, and it's a lie about legal versus illegal. You have to remember that. All right. I'm going to let you go. We'll be right back with final thoughts, Bond Factor. Thanks for staying with us. We'll be right back after this.